A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Someone in the crowd said to Jesus, "Teacher, tell my brother to share the inheritance with me." He replied to him, "Friend, who appointed me as your judge and arbitrator?" Then he said to the crowd, "Take care to guard against all greed, for though one may be rich, one's life does not consist of possessions." Then he told them a parable. There was a rich man whose land produced a bountiful harvest. He asked himself, "What shall I do, for I do not have space to store my harvest?" And he said, "This is what I shall do. I shall tear down my barns and build larger ones. There I shall store all my grain and other goods. And I shall say to myself, now as for you, you have so many good things stored up for many years. Rest, eat, drink, be merry." But God said to him, "You fool, this night your life will be demanded of you, and the things you have prepared, to whom will they belong? Thus will it be for all who store up treasure for themselves, but are not rich in what matters to God." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise you, Lord Jesus Christ.
In our consumer society and the profit-oriented economy, we have been attracted to the mechanism of finding ways to secure our livelihoods. When we get up every morning, we know that there are several bills on the table waiting for payment. That's why we have to spend long hours working to earn money at the cost of our health and sometimes of our life. We put effort in studying to get good grades, to enroll in famous school, to get a well-paid job, to buy a big house, to have a luxurious car, to marry a beautiful wife or a handsome husband, and to become a person of wealth and influence in the society. We set our heart in the abundance of possessions. But things do not stop there. Current wealth and possessions awake in us an urge to accumulate ever greater wealth and possessions. The more wealth and possessions we have, the more urgent it is for us to protect what we have. Our life is occupied with such things, and we hardly escaped from this mechanism. I myself don't think it is morally wrong to be wealthy. However, wealth, when it is accumulated for its own sake and for our own use, it is synonymous to greed. And greed, as St. Paul said in the second reading today, is idolatry. Greed is idolatry. Greed is false god. That's why Jesus taught us to take care to guard against all greed, for one life does not consist of possessions. I would add that our life does not only consist of possession, but also of distribution. Our wealth is not the ultimate end or the ultimate target of our life, but it should be the means for us to reach out to God and those surrounding us. We are called to become rich, but we do not define our richness by our material wealth as the value of the material wealth is ephemeral, but we define our richness by the spiritual wealth whose value endures forever. A wealthy person is not only the accumulator of possessions, but also a distributor of wealth. The hands of the rich man, are not only full, but also open to all. Fullness and openness are the richness of the heart, and that is what matters to God. And Jesus tells us today in the gospel to become rich in what matters to God. To become rich in what matters to God, as St. Paul understands, is to think of what is above, not of what is on earth. To seek what is above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Christ is a hidden treasure in the field. Christ is the precious pearl of the merchant that God wants to give to each of us. His richness is given to us in every celebration of the Eucharist. To receive the Eucharist is to become the rich man and woman of God, to become the other Christs, so that we can openly give ourselves to other brothers and sisters. Among all things that keep our heart and mind busy, just hold on for a while to ask yourself, what kind of life is it that you are producing? What kind of person is it that you are making for yourself? In the celebration of the Eucharist, let us ask Jesus Christ to help us to think and to seek what is above.